Well, hey, what's happening, Jets fans? This is GreenBean, and welcome back to another late night vlog. And it's late, really late. As many of you know, we just did 5 straight hours over at our Talkin' Jets panel at Jets Talk 24/7 with Ryan and Matt O'Leary and myself.
With the 26th pick in the 2022 NFL Draft, the New York Jets select Jermaine Johnson.
Yes! Yes! Oh, let's go! Let's go!
Yeah!
Oh, Joey G, baby! Let's go! Oh,
I love it.
Man.
Got our edge rusher.
Oh. 5 straight hours, over 27,000 of you came to hang out with us. It was a blast. If you weren't able to make it, we're going to be doing the same thing through all the second and third round, and then again on day 3, Saturday, for the rest of the rounds 4 through 7. We will be there. Jets Talk 24/7. What a crazy night, guys. What a crazy night. Number one, let me just tell you this. I'm going to start with this. Over the past couple weeks, we heard all this noise about Trayvon Walker that I personally believe was a lot of smokescreen. That's what it was. I believe this. Now, I don't have any real facts, but I believe it nonetheless. And the reason that teams do this is put out all this information on how much they love a player that they don't really love. It's with the hopes that someone will bite. Someone will buy in. Mike McCagden was famous for buying in. He always took the consensus number 1 player in the draft. You know, he's done that numerous times. Now we see Trayvon Walker go number 1 overall over Hutchinson, over Kayvon Thibodeau, and the rest of the guys. And I believe the smokescreen was effective. The Jaguars end up taking Trayvon Walker number 1 overall, and it started right there. I know a lot of people were, the betting odds were that Trayvon Walker was going to go up at the number 1 overall pick, but I think it was all a bunch of noise, and the Jaguars bit, and good for us. Now, Aiden Hutchinson went second, and then we saw Derek Stingley come out from the ashes like a phoenix and go 3rd overall to the Houston Texans, and that left the best player in the draft on the Jets board, Sauce Gardner. Now, I'm going to be real honest with you. I don't even have to, because a lot of you already know. That was not the pick that I wanted. Now, I never said anything negative about Sauce Gardner. It's just I didn't want a cornerback that high. He's now the highest drafted cornerback in New York Jets history. 4th overall. What do you think of that? We got the most talented player on the Jets board, player 1, cornerback 1, on their board, comes on in at pick number 4, and I was confused. I didn't know what was going on. A lot of Jet Nation wanted Sauce Gardner. I know that. So many Jets fans were so happy. I was not. Now, I wasn't unhappy. I was confused. Okay, well, now we're going to get our edge rusher at 10, of course, right? That's what I thought. Okay, they obviously want Jermaine Johnson or George Karlaftis, because we passed on Kayvon Thibodeau, who a lot of us thought was absolutely going to be the pick if he was there at 4. He was there, and we passed on him. So what does that tell you? He was not the number 1 player on their board, and they went with Sauce Gardner. Now, Sauce Gardner is an interesting player. 6'2" 3/4, so 6'3". Why not? I'm in. Say 6'3", 190 pounds, didn't give up a single touchdown in college. We all know. Very, very talented player. But I do believe, I buy into the side of things that say Sauce Gardner's personality was really what pushed him over the edge. Sure, the talent's all real, it's all legit, all that. But it's the makeup of the person that the Jets fell in love with, and he's got that attitude, man. When he was interviewed right after his pick, he said this was the plan the whole time. I just wasn't saying anything about it. So clearly the Jets let him know that they liked him, and he Didn't say a word. He didn't let the cat out of the bag, so you got to give him that. He said he loves New York and he wants to be a great teammate. He didn't come out and say, I'm going to be the greatest cornerback of all time. He said, I just want to bust my tail and be a great teammate. So it's that kind of stuff about Sauce Gardner, in addition to his talent, I think that pushed him into that top spot with the Jets. And look, we got a great player. But again, okay, we take a cornerback, great player. It's hard to be upset about great players, but I was still confused. Then we get over to 10. Like, clearly we're going to grab an edge rusher. Only one more edge rusher went off the board. Yeah, okay. And we go wide receiver. Oh, my goodness. So a lot of us were confused. It was my belief that no matter what happened, you guys know I was hoping to get this guy or that guy, and you guys wanted this guy or that guy. But I think most of us agreed, that priority one, whether it was 4 or 10, was to come out of the first round with an edge rusher. That was the priority. So the fact that we went cornerback at 4 and wide receiver at 10, it left a lot of us like, I don't know what's happening. Now again, who doesn't like Garrett Wilson as far as a player? Everybody likes Garrett Wilson pretty much. I mean, some guys think he's maybe not the number 1 wide receiver or what have you, but he's a good player. He's a good ball player. But the fact that we took him over an edge rusher freaked a lot of us out, man. And I have to be honest, I was hoping the whole rest of the draft, well, number one, that certain guys would slide. Jermaine Johnson, George Karlaftis, maybe Devin Lloyd action. Even I was hoping Linderbaum would make it to the second, some stuff like that. But I didn't know we were going to trade back up. I wanted that trade back up. I was hoping the whole time. Pick 26, the Jets actually trade up with the Titans and grab our edge rusher, which to me made everything make sense. It was like the final smidgen of seasoning on a dish that pulls it all together. It was like that kind of a thing for me. Now, Jermaine Johnson is a really interesting player because I was just talking about him in a few videos this week. I picked him in my final mock draft. Jermaine Johnson, I did have him at 10, but the fact that we got him makes me happy because I really do like certain things about him. Number one, he's already stout against the run. You gotta love that. And he's kind of blooming as an edge rusher. As we know, he was at Georgia, transferred over to Florida State. So this was like the showcase year for him. And he did a great job. He started to come into his own as an edge rusher. But the thing is he's not the player he's going to be yet. So that's one of the things that I actually like about Jermaine Johnson. And to be completely frank, I do like George Karlaftis as a prospect over Jermaine Johnson, but it's so close. And this is what I was talking about with Jermaine Johnson in my mock draft. It's like this guy, more than most others, is still able to be molded into what the coaching staff wants him to be. So Saleh went out and said, this is the perfect guy for my wide 9 scheme. Perfect. He's big, he's long, he's athletic, he's got a relentless motor, he's fast, all the things that you want. Saleh doesn't want him to be fully developed yet. He wants to develop him, and that excites me. That excites me. When you look at a guy like Sauce Gardner in conjunction with Jermaine Johnson, what's Sauce Gardner's knock? Penalties, some holding, stuff like that. Who better than Tony Oden? Probably the best coach on our team, really, our defensive backs coach. Widely well respected and did an amazing job with a bunch of late round picks the last season. So given Sauce Gardner, who's got all the makings of a stud cornerback, to a coach like Tony Oden, it's perfect. And then you take Jermaine Johnson, who's still not all the way developed, to Robert Saleh. It's perfect. It's perfect. And those 3 picks in the first round made this one of the best first rounds that we've seen, maybe ever. Obviously, the first thing that comes to mind is the 2000 draft when we had 4 first round picks. But man, this draft it's knocking it out of the park. I think it's a slam dunk. Again, it took me the whole draft to get there. I wasn't unhappy. Just didn't know what the hell was going on. I couldn't see the plan. And it's so funny for me because you guys know I am one of the more consistent Joe Douglas supporters out there. And we of little faith, I lost my faith for a little while there. I said, I don't know what he's doing. I don't know what's happening. Now we're going to wait till 35, and who are we going to get? Maybe a Nick Bonito or one of these guys. I wanted the edge rusher in the first, and the idea that Jermaine Johnson slid all the way to 26. Now, it could bring up some concerns, right? Why did he slide that far? But most people had him rated as a top 10 pick, and when you look at all three players, it was said that Joe Douglas had all three in the top 8 of his evaluations. Amazing. So we got 3 top 10 players in the first round. Just like last year with Elijah Moore, when we got him at 33, they told us that he was number 16 on their entire board out of every player in the draft. So they got another first round pick. So last year they essentially feel like they got 3 firsts. And this year we legitimately got 3 firsts. We get the 5th-year option on all 3 of them. Garrett Wilson folding into this offense. We brought in the 2 tight ends. We already have Elijah Moore, Corey Davis, re-signed Braxton Berrios. I, for one, still think Mims is going to be a stud. I don't care if you don't believe me. That's what I think. So when you add Garrett Wilson to that mix, guys, we are setting up for Zach Wilson to have that second-year bump, that progression in his career. Forgive my voice. I'm destroyed. I'm destroyed. I think this draft was knocked out of the park by Joe Douglas. Now we're looking at tomorrow. We have pick 38 and we have pick 101. You guys know in the trade up for Jermaine Johnson, we traded 35 and 69 for 26 and 101. You know what it balances out to? Is pick 150. That's what we gave up for Jermaine Johnson. Joe Douglas, man. He knows what he's doing. And sometimes even guys like myself who support him, it takes me a minute to get there, but I'm there. I am very, very happy with this draft. I want to know what you think. I have had some people convey to me that they're not happy. Let me know what you're happy about, what you're unhappy about. Let me know what you think of the whole thing. Are you not excited anymore for the rest of the draft? We got pick 38 and 101 tomorrow. A second, a high second, and a late third. Let's see what we do. Let's see what we do. Maybe we package 101 and 117 and we go back up to 86, something like that. Who knows? It's going to be exciting. Joe Douglas, second year in a row, trades up in the first to get the player that he wants. Did you hear? Last thing. Joe Douglas was trying to trade up for Jermaine Johnson since pick 15. He just didn't get it. Just didn't get it. And it finally happened at 26. Look at, there's a video on Twitter when he actually makes the trade. He hangs up and says, "We are on the effing clock." And they all start jumping around and Saleh gives him a big old bear hug. That's the guy they wanted. They wanted him at 15. It didn't happen till 26. Fantastic. So let me know, guys. I'm so curious as to what you guys think. I'll be here waiting. I'm not sleeping. So let me know. And that all said, meet us at Jets Talk 24/7 tomorrow for the second day of the draft. And until then, go Jets.